Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Luke and this is going to be a tutorial walkthrough on my easy sand texture, and we're going to get right into it and keep it quick. You can find a link below towards the tutorial on Patreon and Twitter. So we're going to keep this short and fast, and I've already set up a palette here so I can keep it as short as possible. There's not much difference between the colours, it's just a little bit of shifting of the shade and saturation. So first we start off with step 1, which is start with your preferred tile size as usual, 32 by 32, which is what I'm going to keep. Tile this in both axes. What it does is it just makes it easy to create a seamless tile. We're going to fill that in. We want to view the grid because we need to know where the edges are. Basically, this is a bit of a tutorial on the spray tool as well. It's nice and simple. Now, up here you can see the spray. You've got the width, which is basically how big the spray is. And you've got the speed at which it sprays, like very fast, or you can have it nice and slow as you move along. If you hold the mouse button down, it's not going to spray until you move it. When you move it, it's going to start spraying. No, that's the world's quickest tutorial on spraying. Right, I like to keep this up quite fast because I'm going to click to scatter the spray rather than drag it, because if I drag it, it's going to get overwhelming. We will be dragging it at some point, but not just yet. Right, we're going to start with step 2, spray on a layer of dark shade, and I want to keep this a little bit like that. There's one layer. And step 3, keep the shade changes fairly subtle, which is how I've told you down here, very small changes to shade and saturation. There we go. And then do the same for step 4 with lighter shades, which is going the other way now. The middle shade here is the base shade, the darker ones, and then the lighter ones. So we're going to add a few lighter ones, like so. And done. Yeah, it was quick, I know. And I mentioned on Patreon that you can smooth it out if you go back to the base color and spray a little of the base color on it, it'll smooth it out, which, as you can see, does a really good job of making it a little smoother. When you're when you're zoomed in, it's just going to look dotty, but at the original size, which is 100, there we go, it's going to look fairly good. You can also scatter dark patches, like bring this down so it's not as big. I don't know, I'm just experimenting here. Put some darker areas in, you know, that flow through a little bit. Bring it down a bit more. I like to keep it with the spray because it's very random, and I feel that's important for sand. When you start putting the dots down individually, you think way too much. You will start overthinking things. But even as you can see here, the texture's coming out just by adding just a few darker spots. Just clicking on it with the spray, slowly, not rushing it. And you can create some nice wavy shapes. And then put some lighter ones at the side of it. You get some like mounded shapes if you want that in the sand. There's an extra tip I don't actually go through. Creating variation. This is where you can literally just drag and spray the variations like so. And maybe you want a dark variation, maybe you want a bit lighter variation. It's very, very easy and simple to create these tiles. If you wanted to more than one tile, you can drag this over and drop it into another canvas, and then you select this area just here, so you've got a little border around the edge. Now this is so you can keep it seamless alongside the other tiles, and then you can add variation to this using the spray tool, but it keeps the edge the same. So it's gonna link up with the other tiles you've done. Very nice. You're not gonna notice, and because it's so small, the difference, you won't see the change much here either, unless you go like crazy like that. But I don't suggest doing that. So there you have it, the quickest ever sand tutorial, I hope. And I hope this helps. You can find the tutorial on Patreon and Twitter, links below, for the Patreon at least. And I'd like to thank all my patrons again. They are absolutely amazing. I really need to start putting them in the credits, which I will get round to in my next videos. I think I am doing one more guide, which will be on snow in the future. So look towards that. After that, we will be moving on from textures to something else. And I'd like to say have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.